Hey everyone! Today we're diving into something pretty fascinating, a totally new way to architect AI. It's a model that's designed from the ground up to make sure humans are always, and I mean always, in the driver's seat. We're talking about an AI that can help us innovate, but can't make a single move without our explicit say-so. So let's break down how this whole thing works.
I want you to just let this question sink in for a minute. Imagine an AI so powerful, it could dream up incredible plans to improve itself, to evolve, to get better, but at the very last moment, it has to stop and ask a human for permission before it can change a single line of its own code. That's the huge idea we're exploring today.
You know, the core problem with a lot of AI systems out there right now is what you could call the autonomy dilemma. There's this dangerous blurring of the lines between an AI's ability to think and its ability to act. And when those two things get tangled up, you start to create some really serious fundamental problems. When you don't have a clean separation between thinking and doing, you open up a whole can of worms. You get these unintended system changes that are almost impossible to trace back. The human operator, they start to lose their authority. And because the AI's decision-making can feel like a total black box, trying to audit what happened and why, well, good luck with that. Okay, so this is where it all clicks into place. A standard AI model goes straight from reasoning to taking an action. Simple, but risky. But the NCAI model we're looking at introduces one non-negotiable step right in the middle: human approval. And that one little change, well, it changes absolutely everything. So this isn't just some clever technical fix. This whole architecture is built on top of a brand new philosophy, one that completely reframes the relationship between us and our AI systems. It's a core principle called the human sovereignty principle. And this quote just nails it. This isn't a guideline, it's not a suggestion. In this architecture, it's a structural reality. It is hard-coded into the very bones of the system to make sure that the ultimate power to act, to change, to do anything always comes back to the human. What this means is the AI's job description gets a major rewrite. It's no longer some autonomous actor off doing its own thing. Instead, it becomes this incredibly powerful strategic advisor. Its whole purpose is to think, to plan, to design, and then to package up its findings and present them to a human for the final call. Okay, so that's the big idea, but how does it actually work under the hood? Let's get into the nuts and bolts of what the system calls the proposal approval engine. So check this out. Every single time an operator interacts with the system, that request gets sorted into one of three buckets. If you just want to look at something, an observational request, it happens right away. If you want the AI to think about something, it gets routed to the AI's reasoning engine. But, and this is the absolute key, the moment you ask for a change to the system, that request gets intercepted. And that interception kicks off this crucial four-step loop. The human asks for a change. The AI doesn't just do it, it generates a formal proposal, explaining exactly what the change is and what its impact will be. That proposal then goes back to the human, who has to look it over and give explicit approval. Only then, and only then, does a completely separate component of the system actually execute that change. So here's what it all boils down to. The part of the AI that's brilliant enough to come up with an idea is architecturally forbidden from being the part that carries it out. Thinking and acting are kept in two totally separate locked boxes. And the human operator, they hold the only key. Now, this is where it gets really cool. All these safety features, they don't just prevent bad things from happening. They actually unlock something incredible, an AI that can safely help design its own evolution. Just think about that for a second. We're moving away from the old world of developers manually pushing updates to static software. With this model, the system itself becomes a dynamic, collaborative partner. It can look at its own architecture and come up with proposals for how to improve itself, all under our direct supervision. And this is how the system gets smarter over time. Every single proposal that gets a thumbs up becomes part of the system's history. It's like its own architectural memory. The AI can then study this entire history of human-approved decisions to make smarter, more context-aware proposals in the future. It literally learns what its human operator considers to be good design. There's this fantastic analogy for how this all ties together. The console isn't just some command line, it's the system's cognitive control plane, basically its central nervous system. It's the thing that connects human intent, the brain, with the AI's reasoning, cognition, and then directs the system's actions, the muscles. So let's pull all of this together. Why does a model like this actually matter? Because it gives us a real, practical blueprint for building AI systems that we can actually trust, even as they become unbelievably powerful.
The benefits are just so clear. You get total transparency because every single change is laid out in a proposal. You get real accountability because there's an undeniable record of who approved what and when. You maintain absolute control, and maybe the best part, you get all of this without killing innovation. The AI is completely free to design creative, brilliant solutions because the system guarantees nothing happens without a human saying go.
And that's the real takeaway here. What makes this idea so big is that it's not just about one system. The core principles of the NCAI model, separating thought from action, forcing human approval, documenting everything, this is a whole new paradigm. It's a new playbook for how we can build the next generation of trustworthy AI.
Which leaves us with this final, massive question to think about. As AI intelligence continues to grow exponentially, is a model like this the key? Is this how we build a future where intelligence can scale to incredible heights, but human authority remains and always will be absolute?